I have lived a long time, my whole life in Amboy, and I really knew just about everybody in Amboy. But now, new people have moved in. When I look up and down the street, I don't know all those people anymore, and I used to. I think it's a wonderful place to live, and we're very friendly. We are.
Small towns have kind of gotten smaller and smaller as businesses and big box stores have gotten bigger and bigger, and then we realize that there's really no going back on those changes. It will never be what it was 100 years ago.
The town was founded from farming, and the initial investment that made Amboy what it was farming.
So the town needs something to draw the interest of other people to it.
The community club is made up of all volunteers. Okay, so it's just people from the community that do care.
You can let change master you, or you can master the change. We were looking for something to kind of go into a positive, and we looked at buildings that were unique and different, and businesses that were unique and different.
Sandra, the artist, her building was a shoe store, and those people retired, and she bought it and made her gallery there.
And then Al Steinberg came in with his frame shop.
As I got it all gutted out, I thought, hey, this is going to work pretty good for a gallery, and I'll have foot traffic, I'll have people uptown, I'll have people to talk to.
Carol is doing her sculpture studio.
I created the Amboy red cow figurine. Amboy's history was based on a red cow, of all things.
There's just a younger culture that's moving into town, taking advantage of an existing art culture and really building on it.
So a whole different group of people have gotten together here and sought out this little sanctuary here in Amboy.
You started your town by the railroad, so that's where the town of Shelbyville started, but then I grew into Amboy, and of course we were right by the railroad track. My grandfather, who was Henry William Bussey, I think they chipped in $100, and that was a big amount then. But a lot of people in the area chipped in money to get the town kind of going, to get things started.
Our depot was picked up and moved to another community before I was born. The gentleman who owned the depot over in Huntley saw what we were doing here in Amboy and offered it to the community. He saw that we would be willing to restore it and make it something useful again.
Part of our depot project is going to be about adding more ability for arts to be in the community, so that we can open up more space and we can provide more opportunity for artists as they come.
I'm Maria Lindbergh, and I co-own the Acorn Studio with Lisa, who is my daughter. Both of us like working with fibers, so that's what our shop is about.
They'd purchased that old building on Main Street for $1,000 in 1992, and it had been an electric shop, a library, a furniture store, and a mortuary. We both really enjoy creating beautiful things out of fiber, so the studio is a real connection point for us too.
The Cottage Cafe was probably one of the first examples of something where a building was taken from its original use and repurposed and reused, in another fashion altogether.
The backhoe was just poised over the top of the building, just with the scoop literally like this. And we're going like, oh my gosh, it's such a cute building. They just can't take it down. And I guess they delegated me to go across the street. And the guys looked at me and they said, well, do you want it? And I said, I guess.
She took a gas station and made a cafe out of it.
Before we even got the building up and going, we needed to do some community outreach just to see what kind of interest level we would have and what kind of support we would have. So I got the idea, have people purchase cups that would be personalized for them and their coffee and tea would be free. So it was kind of like you were a shareholder.
It helped really gel a community around her business.
Some of us have paid more than $100 for our cups because we use them more often, you know.
You don't have no choice of colors in this deal.
A little bit about it. This is a crowd of characters that come in every morning.
It's the only place I drink coffee.
And she took, the normal menu that was served in small town and focused more on healthy choices, which she sought out organic foods.
Local, natural ingredients and healthy, so I'm buying into that. Beautiful.
Radio Keel's coming in for breakfast. One of our local organic farmers.
Well, I know the reason we come to Amboy is quality of the food and personal connection with the people, and that's, you got that, you got a business,
But we started processing our grains and stuff into flour and mixes and so forth. We started selling it to co-op stores and the restaurants like this one.
It was a typical country school, and I went to a typical country school.
My husband and I helped restore this schoolhouse, which was moved in here from the country, and along with many, many people, the community club and many former students came here and helped put this school back together.
A gentleman with the name of Gene Lom came along and said, I want to do the whole foundation. Amen. Those are the kind of people that are here. When you really need something, usually somebody will help you.
It was built in about 1909. It's kind of a unique architectural structure. And it's an old one-lane wood deck bridge, but obviously it became unsafe. So the county wanted to tear it down. Well, the folks who have some history with that bridge got together and they said, you can't do that, this is important to our town.
It's such an asset for the community. There's only 2 of them in the state of Minnesota like it.
And so they asked about whether it could be listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and they got that. This summer, we will in fact rehabilitate the bridge. Of course, it retains its location over the Blue Earth River.
I canoed on the Blue Earth my entire childhood. My father and I would take our canoe down and we'd launch from the Dodd Ford Bridge.
The Blue Earth River had been assessed and had been recommended to be a state water trail, but had never made it to the final step of being officially designated. So that was something that we fixed.
That a small town can come back with community involvement.
Our Main Street is full. The businesses have had to adapt to changing times.
The artists add a lot to that.
It's about promoting each other so that we all lift each other up.
It's just really an incredible thing to see.
I've always said that you had to almost leave home in order to come back home. When it was all said and done, the roots of my happiness was still in the small town.